For the next part of our tutorial, we'll be connecting to the Java database. First, open your NetBeans and we can start. Let's create a new project. Let's name it as Enrollment System. This will be our main class. Before anything else, let's first create a database. Click Services and let's name our database as Enrollment System with our password as root and username as root. Let's create our tables. Let's name it as Create Table TBL Student Info, where this will be where we will place the student's information. Let's set its ID. Let's start with 1001 and let's increment that by 1. Our first name, our last name, our date of birth, our gender, our address, our account username, and our account password. Let's set our primary key to our ID. Let's run that SQL and let's create another table. We shall name that as TBL Subjects. This will be where we can see the students' current track and schedule, and of course, their grade year. Let's start with the ID, the first name, and the account user. The purpose for repeating these two first names and account users is that so we can access them later without using inner join. Let's put our schedule and our primary key as ID. Once we're done, we can run again the SQL. Let's create our last table, the table admin, which will store the variables that is needed for the information of the admin. Just change the variables and press the Insert SQL Query. Okay, now we can see our tables. Let's now create our DB Information class. Name that as DB Info. The purpose of DB Info class is so that we can access the DB information. This includes the URL, the string username, the string password. This DB info will be later called on other classes. Let's set our driver 1. Let's set our driver to and let's set our database's URL, which can be found in the services. Let's set the username and the password, which we input before we created the database, which is the root and root. Let's create a new class, and let's name that as Derby Connection. This will be used all throughout the system. Let's import java.sql. The purpose of java.sql is so that we can use all the SQL statements and queries, such as insert, update, and the connection. This is for the connection. Let's input the driver 2, the URL, the account user, and the account pass, which was in DB info. Let's use class.forName. The thing that you use for class.forName is that it loads a Java JDB's driver information. And let's set our driver manager. Let's create the query for select. This will be used for extracting all the data when used. Now let's create the query for update, inserting, and deleting, which is gonna be used all throughout our system. And there we go. We now have our SQL for inserting, updating, and deleting. And that's it for our part 2 in connecting to the Java database.